I can bump up the stream quality a bit so we're not just watching 720. That helps you guys see exactly what I'm doing. No, we're just gonna do 720, I guess. Cool, whatever. Alright, let's roll with it. So, my sis says that, hey, this would be good on YouTube, so here I am. I just got a new SHS motor, and the SHS motors aren't really the drop-in type for as far as AEGs go. So I'm tearing down my gearbox so that way I can reshim my SHS motor that I just got in, which will be a little bit higher torque than the G&G 2500 that I have. Hopefully. I say some of the forms are kind of iffy whether it is or not, because technically the RPMs on this motor are 30,000, so they kind of wonder if it is. But I do know from reading and whatnot that this spring is still capable of pulling back a 170 spring, which is fine. Like, I'm ever going to put a M170 in this airsoft gun anyway. That'd just be freaking cruel to everyone on the field. Wouldn't be allowed on... Well, he'd probably allowed on the field, but I wouldn't be able to shoot people with it. Just take it out for an anti-material rifle. Just hear that thing hit the side of a truck. Whap! Nah. Alrighty. Ooh, so, kind of what I got going on here. I got my gearbox out and everything. It's a G&G G2 gearbox, G2H out of the MBRs. I have a gate tighten in here. I just pulled the springs out, or the screws out. I'm going to pull the spring now that I thought about it before this gearbox explodes, because it has a quick change set up back there. So I'll set the camera back down. See if I get on that. If I can manage to find my Allen keys, which are hiding from me. Tell you what, guys, I'd lose my ass if it wasn't attached. Sis will actually be home here for too long. What did I do with it? I usually keep it in... Oh, I had it out on the table already. It was just behind my teching bag, so I couldn't see it. Of course it was. Oh. Alrighty. I believe it's a 8mm. Yep. There we go. I also need to put some new grease in this, because since I've put in I've got some SHS gears that I just threw in this last, and some nozzle parts and a new cylinder for it that would hopefully help improve consistency, and it has improved consistency. Worked great with the 2500 motor. Got 21 rounds a second with my Titan 11-1 2600. Yeah, alright, so springs out on the table. It's not going to explode at me now. Great. Let's work this gearbox apart. Even though I took all the springs and stuff out, I still get nervous every time I go to take these apart. Yeah, when you've had one or more gearboxes explode at you, it ends up being force of habit. Alright, so basically, since I already have all my gears and stuff shimmed in here properly, all that I'm going to have to do for reshimming is I need to reshim this for height, and I'm going to check the rest of my gears and make sure that they all sit in there fine and they sit where they need to. So I'm not going to need any more or less shims than I already have. I already have the proper amount in there. I just have to rearrange them in the proper configuration, because the shims that I have in there shim it in the gearbox to where it doesn't have any side-to-side movement. Well, it's got minimal side-to-side movement, I should word. Anyway, so I will grab my pistol grip, which I will need. Pull this tape off. I just had this tape on there because I tape on my pressure sensor for my laser unit. Get my knife out. I actually had a model, a professional model, give me this knife just as a gift, being appreciative. Gonna see about getting her on the channel here sometime. Be kind of fun to have her on. She's played with the idea of coming on and whatnot. I'm sure she'll see this. Don't know if she'll watch 7 minutes in, but you know. Thank you for the knife, hon. Anyway, okay. Let me think. Okay. If I remember right, this gear needs shimmed. Yeah, let's move this anti-reversal latch quick. Another thing that I had to do, which I did before this video, I actually had to Dremel out part of the receiver on the bottom to fit the bearing that goes on the right below the pinion on the motor. So that was an endeavor. Maybe these shims will come out. I want to make sure. Yeah, I don't have any shims on there. So I do need to do some simple gearbox cleaning, because I was an idiot, and if I get texts in the comments, they're going to give me shit about it. I didn't take anything out of here, and I just ground the gearbox with the gears and everything in there. But it doesn't matter, because I didn't end up firing it at all or anything like that. I just wanted to get it so that way the gear would go in fine. Oh, come on! Can't get this freaking shim off. It just stuck on there. Like, I'll get it worked where it's like ready to come off, and then I'll go to grab it and I'll shove it right back on the gear. Ooh. Is that it? No, damn it. Smaller pick. Screwdriver, but it's whatever. Ah! I think got it. Come on. Yeah, I got it. Alright. So, that's off. Now I need to pull... I'm going to pull the tappet plate spring before that explodes at me. To which I did I cut a few coils off the tappet plate spring because the max hop-ups, the 2018 models, I think, the 2018 models had a sensor thing in the top of the max model hop-up units for AEGs. And it caused what we call mid-cap syndrome, which whenever you have mid-cap syndrome, your mags will try to feed if you're running a mid-cap, And basically, your tappet plate, there's so much pressure, it won't shove it into your hop-up, or into, like, your hop-up bucking to actually shoot it. Which is an issue, because then your gun won't shoot, or it'll stuff a bunch of BBs into your barrel before it does start to shoot. So basically, you're halfway through your mid-cap before it actually starts to shoot. Which is annoying. I thought at first it was, for the longest time, I thought it was the mags, because I got this when the MBRs were brand new. So I figured the issue was probably with the magazines, because I never tested with the mid-cap. I got the mid-caps after I got the max hop-up unit. So whenever I went, it worked fine with the low cap because there's not enough spring pressure, I assumed. And the mid-caps, whenever I went to go use them, I assumed that since it was so new, say the springs were pushing so hard, it was causing the mid-cap syndrome, which is a thing that can happen that way. Anyway, pulling out all my gears to make sure I got everything looking pretty dirty anyway. I had to use some spare grease the last time I put this thing together, and it was like it was a mix of motor grease, which was synthetic. It was synthetic motor grease, and a little bit of Enola Gay grenade oil to thin it out just a bit, so that way it's not like super viscous and causing stuff to bind up, to get it to about the right consistency. Worked fine, but not the best thing to use. Anyway, so I need cotton swabs. I'll be right back. Just gotta make a quick trip around the corner, not knock everything off my table. Stay. Hey guys, and I'm back with the Q-tips. Just do some quick swabbing. I just want to get a lot of this crap grease out so I can replace it with new. Of course, I didn't bring my freaking trash can over here because I'm a fool. I'm going to do that because it's right over here around the corner. And I will always love you in the back. Good. Okay. I should never sing ever again. You'd think being about 11 o'clock, I'd be running pretty low on my energy after helping my mom all day work at the house, work at the house project, I should say. Yucky. There are much more efficient ways to clean this stuff out than the way that I am doing it. And that would be with a garden hose. No. Just taking a rag to it for a lot of the larger stuff. But I didn't want to go take the time to find a rag. Which honestly wouldn't have been that hard, but there's not a whole lot that I need to clean. Check on the other side of this, which needs just some swabs. Just a little bit of swabbing. And if I didn't have an intention of taking this apart and cleaning it, I wouldn't have dremeled it, the receiver out in the shell in the first place. But because it did, actually I may go ahead and Dremel it out just a little bit more. Reason being is I want to make sure that bearing has plenty of room, so that way whenever I'm adjusting my motor height, it does not bind. And do one more swab on some of these holes. I am content with that. Okay. Everything's clean. Cleaner than most people's AEGs. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and decided to... Oh, those are just out camera view. Cool. I'm going to go ahead and Dremel that out. Oh, just FYI tip. If you do decide to ever put a gate tighten into your... Did I lose one of my plastic shims? I'll find out. If you ever do decide to put a gate tighten into your hop-up unit, into your G2H gearbox from G&G, a little bit of modification is required. I'll show you here in a sec. Come on. There you are. Get those out. There we go. Sure, I'll catch shit in the comments for this, but shout out to Gate Electronics for making a awesome MOSFET. Okay, so let's see. Actually, why don't I just switch the camera around? Okay, so right here I had to do a significant amount of dremeling because the MOSFET actually has to lay flat in that area. And there's a little bit right there to which the MOSFET doesn't cover up anyway, so I didn't bother dremeling that out. But yeah, there's a pretty big tab that sticks up there, which is part of the electronic MOSFET that comes in the G2H. Anyway, I'm going to kind of haphazardly just stick this shell together quick. Just gonna kind of clamp it together, hold it, because it'll hold like that. Grab the Dremel quick, and I'm going to Dremel that out just a bit. Move the trash can. Grab the Dremel that my sister was nice enough to let me borrow. Thank you, sis. Okay. Plug it in. Awesome. Okay. So the part that I'm dremeling is this hole right here, making it wider, so here's the SHS motor that will go in there. Pull the spring off this real quick so I can show you exactly what I'm talking about. So I need to make sure that this fits in here well, which it does right now. But I need to make sure that it's plenty wide enough that whenever it does go in, it doesn't create any binding or anything like that. So basically, it's just insurance. I'm just widening it out just a bit to make sure everything works smoothly. So that way, whenever my motor grip is fastened on all the way at the angle that it fastens to, that if it's not from factory perfectly aligned with how the angle of this gearbox housing is supposed to be, then it will still go in and not bind with the spring. Another thing, I'm not dremeling it out far enough to where it's going to cause any pivoting on that. I still want that bearing to be able to be up in there and against. because if not, it can cause it to cross thread on the bevel gear, and then can strip teeth, and that's definitely something I don't want. Take a look at it quick. So we got full contact on that side. Alright. That looks good. I got full contact on both sides, telling me it's true. Let's go ahead and detach the Dremel. Oh. And now we're good to take this bearing, to which I dropped, stick back in where it goes. Stick back in where it goes. Stick back in where it goes. Maybe. Oh, wait a minute. That doesn't go there. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah. There's that. I'm going to give my gearbox a good little blowjob here. Make sure I get all those metal fragments out. Got to make sure those metal fragments come out really well. Best way to get those metal fragments to come out really well is to give your gearbox a good blowjob. Alrighty, that's enough for the innuendos. Clean this plastic bit a little bit. Alright, so we are now ready to reinstall. I'm not even going to. I'm not going to reinstall the Titan until I get everything shimmed back. Just because it's going to save me a lot of work. Alrighty. So, this gear, I need to take the shim off that side. Where's my little pick I was using? Here it is. And I'm thinking, because it is so close, I'm thinking all I'll have to do is remove the shim off this side and swap it to the other. And that should do the trick. Perfect. Swap you over here. Let me pop you back off because I'm going to give my gear a little bit of a cleaning because I didn't clean my gears after I did this. After I did the dremeling earlier. Alrighty. So all the shims on that one will be to one side, which is fine as long as that's where they need to go. And that's what it's seeming like it's going to need. Of course, I'll check it when I put everything together. The other gears should be fine. I shouldn't have to clean them. Should be good to go. I'll check them. You're good. You're fine. Titan MOSFET looks clean. It looks fine. Sensors are mostly on that one anyway. They all look good. Yeah, they look good. Okay, trash. Oh, we're already almost a half hour in. Still at 0 views. Great. Anyway. So, let me go ahead and stack these shims on. And you guys would like to see a really good video on how to fully shim your gearbox and properly do it, this is just a quick live stream that I'm doing while I'm doing it because I was doing it anyway. You guys want to see a proper video on how to do this, a guy out there makes a really good video. I can't remember who he is. He has Airsoft Teching in his name though, I think. Sure that'll be helpful to you guys. Anyway, technically you need to be in here. Come on. There you are. It's in there. That's just a little plastic piece that covers up the electronics that go through the bottom channel here that go around to your rear wiring. Alrighty, I think I'm ready to put a few screws in this. Yeah, I'll just use this little one. Doesn't need to be super tight. I'm gonna end up undoing them anyway. I'm just gonna put in the main 3 just to make sure that gearbox stays where it's supposed to be. That gear doesn't move anywhere. That stuff. Alright, so I got the gearbox housing together. It's not coming apart at all. Now I need to stick this on there, firmly grasp it. Ah, there it is. Okay, now I need the screws that go in my motor grip. And my motor grip cap, because I have to set my motor height at the same time. Oof. Need to get some new screws. As far as these go, though, how magnetic are you? You're magnetic enough. Ah! I love having a carpeted floor. When you're working with small parts like this, it's the best thing ever, really. Like, if you get a spring or something that falls down in there, you're just never gonna find it again until you step on it, and then you never forget what you did with it. And I need to plug my phone in because it's gonna die. Oh yeah, you like that up close view of my hand? There, I got it in the hole. I struggle with that. Alrighty. How about you? You're magnetic, I know you are. Or not. Or not. Neat. There's one. You are not going to magnetize on at all. You big boy. Perfect. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Okay. And of course one of you would pop out. Of course you would. Alright, well, let's go ahead and fasten little buddy down. Use my handy dandy magnet. Please do not fall in the gearbox. Ooh, you are annoying, aren't you? This is going to be the next 40 minutes of the video, just watching me try to put a screw in the hole. Ah, no, I got it, we're good. Anyway. Got it on there. Alright. Now, the moment of truth to see this guy wants to cooperate because so far I haven't had any luck. Alright, so far not good. It's actually not going bad. It's actually going. Alrighty. I got back pressure a little bit. It's kind of bindy on that. I'm hoping ends up being alright. Just going to see if I can get these caps put on. And I had the screwdriver out to do this. I put it back in my tech bag. So don't worry, there's only a few hundred of those screwdrivers in here. I'm sure one of them's the right one. Oh, I'm an idiot. That's for sure. Heard it here. But at least hey, I think I found it. I think it's right here. Yep, this is the one. Awesome, 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 possum. So I converted these screws. They used to be Phillips screws on the motor plate on the bottom here. I'm not a big fan of Phillips head screws. I always have problems with them stripping out. I'm sure a lot of people do. I am a massive fan of the star bits, the torque bits. And I'm sure some of you are wondering, converted your screws, like you bought new screws and replaced them? No, I converted them. Like I said, I have issues stripping out Phillips head screws. And when I did that, I took a star bit, I took a hammer, and I hammered it until it made a star imprint on the screw. Conversion. Great. Anyway, got the assembly together. So, now, what I want to check is inside this little window here at the front. This little hole. I'm going to work on seeing how much movement I got. And I got just a little bit of movement. It moves fine and it's moving smooth. So, I'm thinking I'm good to move on. It is turning with the motor. I do need to set my height, which you can't see in there that well right now. And what I do to set the height is I'll use a half assembly and I'll screw my motor plate up and down until I get the proper height. So, now to take this thing apart and put it back together a few hundred more times. You're the right one. The gear is turning. It seems good and snug. Turns with the motor. I can feel the torque of the motor when it flips over the magnet. It's whoop, good. Nice and smooth. As it should be. And there we go. I think I might have to do a little bit more dremeling maybe, because it is still binding a bit in there. I don't think it is the gear hanging. Now I can see clear scratch marks on the bearing. At least that is giving me some spring response though. So it might just take some wear. It's good that it fits snug though. Because if it fits snugs, that means it won't shift around a lot, cause unnecessary wear on the gears. I was about to ask if anyone in the chat knew what time it was, because I can't check the time. I don't think so. 11:12. Okay. Alrighty. I didn't think I checked the time while I was streaming. Guess I can. That's handy, I guess. Alrighty. So, let's pull this gearbox apart again. And the rest of the gears, as far as shimming wise, they will just drop in. I'll make sure the surfaces aren't rubbing each other. All the gears have good contact, which it should. Yeah. If anything, I may have to add. No, everything should sit in there the exact same. So the only shimming I changed was on the bevel gear. Should be good. Alrighty. So, Another thing, I didn't see this in the tech video whenever the guy did it. I mean, I saw it, but like it didn't register in my head, like he didn't say so or anything. Make sure whenever you're grabbing, when you grab to do your half assembly for your shimming, that you have this bevel gear face up whenever you do it, so that way you can see exactly your motor height and make sure that it's getting only full contact. You only want this gear to slide up in there to where it is just making contact, and that's it. Nothing more, nothing less. You want just those teeth touching. You don't want it sliding up any further. You want to take full mechanical advantage. Anyway, that's just my shtick on that. Let me set this to where it's not grabbing parts. I'll stick it over by my grease. Perfect. Ready for my motor grip again. Here it is. And I'll put this assembly on. Come on. I need a screwdriver with just a bunch of lights on the in the handle that shine down. That'd be just the best. I know they make them, and I really ought to get one. Sound like Adam Savage talking about tools. Oh no! No, 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 no. That was a big no-no. Don't do what I just did. I just dumped my bevel gear on the floor. Hey, look, AG part. Dumped my bevel gear on the floor. And, shims are falling off of it. Which is definitely not good. Oh. Luckily for me, they'll be pretty easy to find. I have a dark carpet and shiny objects with flashlights like to show up quite well. I just have to change my flashlight from 1500, not strobe, from 1500 lumen to 600 lumen. So that way it doesn't all just look the same to me. I think I got them all. I think they all just fell in my laps, the ones that I lost. I don't see any other shims. I saw one that fell over kind of away from the direction that it actually went. Airsoft baby, cool. Got one of those on my floor. Sure, just about every airsofter. Find a bunch of airsoft babies on the floor. Light works though. Okay. So, I now need to dump that screw out because this screw actually needs to go in parallel with this one. Perfect. Because I need to fasten this gearbox on well. Because I need to make sure the proper angle is held with the gearbox. Perfect, and that is solid. Okay, so I'll stick my bevel gear in, and my assembly looks, well, here, I'll just kind of show it like this. So I got bevel gear, handle on, open gearbox, looks just like this. So now I'll grab my motor out. I will stick it in here. Yay, it fits. Which it should, but and grab my base plate. You can also see kind of what's going on here. So like when it's binding, I can see exactly what this motor is trying to do. Okay, so it would appear that I just need to drill out this box just a little bit more, that hole. Now, because when it's centered with the bell, it functions smooth and fine. So I just need to set this in there. There we go. Get these screws screwed in. I always start one, then I start the other, and then I'll go back to the backside screw on the motor plate. I start the backside first, then I'll start the front side, and I'll finish the backside, finish the front. Okay. And now I need a light, which I happen to have here, and I need a decent size flat screwdriver. Brought in a way oversized one just a bit ago. There's a Phillips. Apparently got plenty of those. Flat. There we go. Yeah, I know how strobe works. Now can you please? Thank you. There we go. Okay, so it would appear I don't quite have full contact. So the motor plate actually needs to go in just a bit. A little more. And I wish I would be able to actually show you guys how this should look in the end. But my camera, I know, will not be good enough to actually fully pick this up. That's just a little too far. Back it up just a touch. Make sure everything's set good. I want to make sure I throw my freaking shims everywhere again. So that's always good. Thank you, motor grip. There, that's all that I think you're going to want to fall off anyway. Check it. That looks good. you'll hear a lot of people talk about how you actually need to set it up. Like, you'll hear screeching noises and whatnot, and you set it off the sound of your gun. You don't set your motor height like that. Take it to an actual tech, please, and have someone that actually knows how to properly shim gears and that sort of stuff. Actually do it. And not all techs are good techs. I can think of one off the top of my head that you should definitely not take your stuff to, but out of respect for him, and because he likes to shit talk everyone, I will not say his name. I got in an argument with him on a teching forum. I was basically explaining basic physics to him, and he basically tried to tell me that no, airsoft BBs work off magic. No, he was not kidding. I was talking basic physics to him on how, and he asked me, "Are you an expert in ballistics?" And I was like, "Well, actually, I am. Used to do competition shooting before, and I did my own reloading. And you have to be an expert in exterior ballistics in order to do that. And yes, I'm aware that airsoft doesn't follow fully the same principle as a bullet does as far as drop trajectories, because we have a hop-up, which puts backspin on the BB, which actually creates the Magnus effect, to which creates the BB's flatter path trajectory. Anyway, so that's done. Now we are ready to put my gearbox together and give her a test, I think. Everything seems to be working. Good. I know it's shimmed right. Always hold pressure on your motor plate so you don't launch your screws. Yeah, let me try to drop that right in the hole. There we go. Always keep my screws in there. Great. Alright. Now I'm ready to just put this whole assembly back together. And I should be ready to run a quick test shoot. Also, pretty excited today. I got a tracer unit for my DMR. I know, right? It's like, what's the point in running a DMR if you're going to give away your position? Because it's freaking cool. That's why. That's why you get a DMR. That's why you get a tracer unit in the first place, because it's freaking cool. Also, because CQB, it's tactical advantage. No, I am not using my DMR for CQB. Although I do have the spring, and I know a really good tech that can change my spring out on this thing really quickly and easily. And then he could use it for indoors and whatnot. And I have my own, my tech guy has his own chrono. God damn it! Alright, magnet stick. Because I had to reposition these screws again, now that I'm putting it back into a full configuration. Maybe I'll get it put together. Maybe I'll get to finish this video. Probably not going to be able to finish it tonight because it's already almost tomorrow. In about 30 minutes it'll be tomorrow. Yeah, got that together. That's ready to go in. time to work on reassembling the gearbox. Here's the other half of my gearbox shell. I want to move some of these screwdrivers quick. I want to put this gear in. Clear out some of that debris. Alright. There she sits. Where is spur gear? Checking my mesh. Spur gear is getting full mesh on the bevel gear still, which is great. Actually, I could use one shim on the bottom of that, so I will have to do a little bit of shim adjusting. Let me find my shims. Find my shims. What did I do with them? I think they're in this bag. No, they aren't. Alright. This is my little tech bag. A thing of SHS shims if I can find them. Ah, there they are. Yep, I just need the one shim. For now, anyway. I'm just going to pull that back out for now. I need shim you up. I guess I dropped the shim. You're probably never to be seen again. Alright, luckily I have a few. Perfect. Shim you up. How's that look? Flashlight. That looks dandy. Alrighty. And this gear, which already has some shims on it. As long as that face isn't grinding bad. Don't want those teeth to catch each other. I think I might try to add one shim onto there real quick. Perfect. I have so many on here already. I think that will get me right where I need to be though. Because I just shimmed everything up just a little bit. And if my gearbox closes on my test here, then I know I am golden. I also want to see if I can find that shim that I know I just dropped on the floor just a bit ago. So it's not in my lap. I'm going to take a quick look. I'm not going to spend forever looking for it. It'll turn up. Or it won't. And if it doesn't, it's not a huge deal. Shims are pretty damn cheap. If you're wondering, I'm using SHS shims just because I needed shims, and they're the first ones I found with these. So, alrighty. So, Let's do a mech box test. See if everything closes up snug. Looks like shell goes together. I'm going to throw a few screws in here. Make sure they rotate good. Those gears don't seem like they're binding a whole lot, then we will fully reassemble and run the test. Also got my new max hop-up unit in that doesn't have the issues with the mid-cap syndrome in today. That's nice. So I'll be doing that as well because that won't take any time. The next project on this DMR that I will be doing, I probably won't video it because it would be boring as hell, is I'll be relapping the barrel. So that way it makes sure the barrel is perfectly smooth up to, I can't remember how many micron. Really fine. Basically it's just buffing compound on a special rod and 3D printed bit that goes on the rod. Alright, let me get this. Oh yeah. See, it's turning. It's not as free as I'd like though. Because the more friction I have, the more chance to build up heat, more chance to break parts, etc. Which I do not want. The good news for having a gearbox that's shimmed up this tight though would be that you don't have to worry so much about like pre-cocking a spring. There won't be so much pressure on put back onto your motor and stuff. But don't shim your gearboxes to where it's like that. So what I'm thinking I'm gonna do, I won't have as good of contact between my my spur and my my final here, to which I forget the name of right now. But I'm thinking by taking out a shim of each should help with its rotation ability. So let me see here. I just want one shim. Got one shim there. And I only put one on my spur to just improve its contact with the bevel. which it wasn't terrible to begin with. As long as you got like 75% contact, which I have more than 75% contact, it's still great shimming. It's just not flawless shimming like I strive for, but it's fine. Let me put it back together. We'll see where she's at again. I just want to make sure before I fully put this thing together that everything works great. Also, a few test streams to delete off my channel that are probably uploaded by now. I was trying to set this stream up earlier, and my phone, every time I would try to enter the title, when I clicked to enter the title, it was like, oh, you want to start broadcasting? No, I want to change the title. Alright, start broadcasting. I'm missing a screw. Oh, there it is. Boys, I tell you what, I'd lose my ass if it wasn't attached. Oof. Alrighty, so you guys are fortunate enough to get to see me do all my work, and that is not bad. I like that. It's a little bit sticky, but that's just because my shimming on my my bevel gear, my bevel gear, I needed it to be tight to shim it good enough for the. No, I don't. What am I talking about? I'm gonna take one out of there. I was saying I need to take one out of there to make sure that it is shoved far enough, but the shims are really just shimming it to the wall of my gearbox now. I don't have any shims between it and my gearbox for the face side anyway. So I think taking one out there, and if that doesn't fix it, then what I'm going to do is, of course I didn't quite get it apart, and I don't have a tiny little Phillips here. Yeah, I do. Here. Great. Okay. Great, we shall see how that does. I'm kind of hoping we're good now. Basically am doing a full shimming video at this point, but it's whatever. There's Airsoft Tech. He does Airsoft Q&A videos and stuff like that. I think that was one of his most recent ones at this time. Which would be the 13th. The 13th of May of 2020. His most recent video would be an Airsoft Q&A. So I got that enough. Let me give them a good little snugging up. Now, ideally, whenever you get this thing fully shimmed, you want to be able to just fully free spin this gear. Still tight. I know, it's getting there. Sis should be home pretty quick. She was about out of work earlier when I checked the time. I'm sure she'll come in here. What are you doing? I gotta get some sleep. Knock that shit off. You're being loud. Nah, she doesn't mind. She usually stays up for a bit anyway, unless she's had a rough day. It's whatevs. But at least when I get this gearbox done, it will be, wow, great, perfect. Pull this one off. If that doesn't do it, I need to pull another one off of my spur. It's feeling pretty good on first impressions. Let's put her together. If this seems good, then I'm going to put the one back on my oh yeah, I like that. It's kind of free spinning. Check this, see how I got for movement here. So I am going to put I'm going to try to put one back there. If that tightens it up too much, I'll take it out. Not a huge deal. Take a few seconds. Oop. And then we're ready to put everything together. Give her a test. See how she wants to run. Everything should work. Should. Think sis is home. Thought I heard a car. We'll see. Gear. Shim. Right. Everything together. Great. Get the right screwdriver. Would help. So I should only have to take this apart one more time after I get these in. Then we'll be ready for a full assembly. And I will have to take this apart at least once more because I have to put in my Titan and the rest of my component, my trigger and all the electronic stuff. It's just nice having that stuff out of the way when you're trying to run this testing stuff. Let me rotate this back. Feels pretty smooth still. Nah, it's kind of tight. Alright, we're going to pull that out. And we're going to pull one shim off that gear then. And throw all the components in because we know that'll be right. We'll have flawless shimming. And we'll be good for a test. Yay. May see if we can break some gears here after a bit too. I got 170 spring. Probably won't do that. Okay. Pull one out. Make sure it's just one. Perfect. Set you down. Pull you out. Sure all your shims are there. Pull you out. You back on. There. Got all the shimming ready. Alright, now let's stick my gate tighten back in. And I got this screwdriver for that. Probably going to describe this and it's going to sound a little bit gross, but it is kind of useful having like slightly greased up hands. Not like greasy hands, like they're dirty and disgusting and whatnot. Like I've been messing with some of the grease inside this AEG and stuff, and when you're trying to put some of these components together, like grabbing these shims and stuff, instead of trying to pick up a shim, it's nice to be able to just shove your finger down on it and it sticks for a few seconds. And that's kind of nice. Alright. Gate is secure. Let's stick my trigger back in. Stick my trigger spring on the right side, maybe. I had one thing that was kind of shimming my trigger just a little bit, so that way the response is instantaneous whenever I touch it. I'm trying to think. Yeah, I may go ahead and fix that. So I used a little sheet of plastic there. That's what I used. Question is, what did I take it off of? I know what I took it off of. I took it off of my PPSH box, I think. Super glue, I know I'll need you. Oh, come on. What did I do with you? You're on the table. You're out. You're out on the table, ready to go. Alrighty. Super glue. And I had a little bitty bit of plastic. This will do. Need my scissors. Unless I can find in here real quick what I actually cut the first one out of. I thought it was out of these PPS 10 Sorbo pads. I guess not. I don't see anything else lying about that I would have cut it out of. Except for maybe this McDonald's straw. That sounds probably dumb to some people. It can be kind of useful in some teching scenarios. A few teching scenarios, actually. Yeah, that's not seeing anything. I'll remember after I do this and after it dries and everything, I'll remember exactly what I cut that plastic bit out of. Just you wait. But I'm just going to pull it out of this battery pack now. Just need a little piece. Alrighty. I'll resituate that. Try to cut this down to about the right size. So you definitely don't need it that large. And that'll probably do. Now, put a little dollop. Daisy. No. Plastic seems way thinner though. I may use both of these little slips. Maybe if I get a little blob of glue. I don't smell it. Wondering if I dried the tip up in this. Which would be very unfortunate. Oh yeah, it's very prominent there. Yep, I can't blow through that. Maybe by pulling this cap off, it will kind of equalize the pressure. Let me not cross thread this. Oh yeah. Those pliers are not going to be the right ones for this job. These ones, however, will be. It was always good to put the cap back on and everything. There you go. Way too much came out. But it came out, and that's what I needed. Okay, now where's the other plastic piece? Mop up some of that off the table. Great. Perfect. Get this little screwdriver. Let's put a little bit of pressure down on that. get this kind of centered up a little bit. I really don't like touching super glue like that. I have gloves over there, and I'm going to go grab them. It's just frustrating. Super glue sticking to your hand, and then it gets stuck on there for too damn long. Make sure my ring doesn't cut through this vinyl glove. These are well worth the investment, just getting a box of gloves. Don't take that out of context. Perfect. Put a little pressure there. Stick to the part, not my hand. Stick to the part, not my hand. Stick to the part, not my... You're sticking to my hand. That's the exact opposite of what I told you to do. Just stick to the part, not my hand. Please. Gonna have to use you and separate. Alright, you separated from my hand and you darted kind of across the table. Please tell me I don't have to cut new pieces. Where'd you go? I don't see you in the gearbox. Look for a clear little piece of plastic. It's not glued onto my finger. And I don't see or feel it on the carpet. Don't see it with those gears. Don't see it on the other half of the Titan board. I think I may have lost it. Ugh. Alright. Let's cut another piece, guys. I'm going to cut it out with McDonald's straw. I'm pretty certain that's what I used last time. Now I'm thinking about it. Because I had a little bit left. I was working on seeing if I can make my hop up more precise or anything. And I was slipping this inside the tube and whatnot for the feed channel. Anyway. Maybe I just won't. Maybe I'll just use that buildup of super glue that I got on it. We'll see how the trigger response is there. Because I barely wasn't able to use the number 1 sensor on my Titan. So, we're just going to see how that does. Will, however... wipe this off the tip and clean it with a screwdriver. Perfect. Okay. Screw the lid back on my super glue. Put it in my tech bag where I'll be able to find it next time. Hopefully, we'll be fine. Alright, anyway, put the spring back on. You aren't too sticky, are you? No, you're not going to stick. Okay. spring in the trigger. Got the trigger and the trigger spot. Stuff in the wires down in the slots of the housing. Putting the plastic bit in. That kind of helps protect stuff. Make sure that little guy doesn't get pinched in the gearbox. Good. Okay. Ready to throw gears in. Pain in the ass anti-reversal latch. And we are golden. Spur gear. Drop you in. Bevel gear. Yeah, let's lose all of my shims while I'm at it. Damn it. Just got y'all done. You're gonna go do this to me. Thank you guys. I love you too. Got 2 there. Get them on. There we go. And final gear. Sector gear. That's what it's called. I apologize for not being able to think of that for the longest time through the entire duration of the video. You know. I'm sure the comments will forgive me though. I mean, I don't basically have any. Except for my airsoft videos, which get thousands of views. But it'll be fine. This video won't get that many because it's an hour something long. People don't want to sit through an hour long video. Especially if someone just work on a gun and you don't even get to see the gun really, do you? Yeah. It's coming together. Don't worry. It's going to be incredibly boring for everyone. Alright. Anti-reversal latch. And then I get to stick in the piston and stuff. Come on. There you are. There it is. Piston and tappet plate. Not before I put in a little grease though. You do not want to run this mech box dry. Now, you don't want to over-lube it. You guys just saw the clump I stuck in. I definitely over-lubed it. I will not be leaving all of that in. Just what came out. Okay. I get a little bit on those teeth. Just parts where it might wear. Get a little bit of grease on these bevels. It doesn't hurt. It actually helps a lot with putting it in. I don't have so much problem with it on this G2H gearbox, but it actually helps quite a bit to put just a little bit of grease on your anti-reversal latch. So whenever you put it in there, it kind of holds itself a little bit. Over greasing your fingers can be a problem though, because then you can't hold on to your anti-reversal latch. That's no good. Alrighty. Get this in there. I like how everything sits. Everything's greased. Let me check the other side of the gearbox real quick. Make sure it's fine. Put a little bit of grease just on those bearings. Just dot, dot. And I'm thinking that looks good. Alright, let's stick the rest of our components in. Tappet plate. All the goody goodies. Rotate that sector here. I've already done angle of engagement for people of those in the fucking chat. They're about to ream my asshole about that. It is perfect AOE. I used a Sorbo pad, which actually worked in conjunction with my being nice to work with for my DMR, because it makes it a little bit quieter. Yeah, you lose a little bit of FPS. Choose a heavier weight spring. Let's not use and tappet plate springs on. Tab plate springs on. Pistons in. Cylinders in. Gears are in. Anti-reversal latch is still in place. We're ready for the gearbox shell. Don't forget to put the spring in. Fucking nice being able to have a quick release gearbox. Oh, if it'll go together. Having trouble with that one gear going in the hole. Sis is home. Say hi, chat. Go in.
You okay in there?
We know I'm not okay.
I mean, yeah, still,
I can't get it in the hole. And when I do get in the hole, something else pops out.
that's alright.
Warning before you come in. I'm live streaming. Not that you
Oh.
give a shit.
Well, then I'm not gonna say what I was about to say.
Oh, what were you about to say? I'm sure I've already said worse on this stream. I'm sure I've already said worse. Come on. Let's hear it. Let's hear it.
It's nothing. Don't worry about it.
Mitch doesn't watch my videos. It's okay.
Oh, no, that has nothing to do with this.
That's what I was worried about.
Just something someone said at work.
Oh, what'd they say?
We're trying to get 2 boxes into the correct position, and he said he's never had this much trouble getting it in before.
Okay, I'm waiting for the bad part.
Well, I just didn't want to fucking shut up.
You know I'm never getting monetized.
I just didn't want to say it in front of the camera.
Oh my god, I have one viewer. I actually do have someone watching. Yo, I remember. Indian firefighter says, yo, I remember this guy. Oh.
Hi, viewer.
I cannot believe I actually have a viewer in the live stream. I've never had someone actually in a live stream as a viewer. Hey, shout out to you, man. Tell your buddies to wake up in the middle of the night to watch my video.
Maybe if you didn't stream in the middle of the night every time.
Right?
Every time I'm awake.
Oh. Try to get that gearbox to go together. It's always a pain in the ass.
I burnt my nachos.
That's cool. Everything's lining up to go together, but it's not going together. And I'm trying to figure out why. No, that's not it. Oh. Pretty certain I know exactly what's giving me the trouble. And it is my it's my bevel gear in conjunction with my anti-reversal latch. Alright, let's see if it wants to go together now. Third time's charm, right? Third time's a charm, right?
Sure.
Oh, you're right there.
Yeah, I'm just not listening.
Yeah. Oh. That's your home. Go in your home. I just need that gear to move just into place. And it's my tappet plate that keeps bumping it to where it doesn't want to go together right. Oh, the pains of airsoft tagging. It's because I clipped a few coils on my tappet plate spring. It's pulling forward on my sector gear and making it to where it does not want to set, everything doesn't want to set down on it perfect and nice and mesh well. That being said, I know a solution. I just need to push back on my tappet plate. And then everything else should align fairly easily. Maybe. Yeah, that worked. Alright, for a second. It just doesn't want to go in. Nope. Going on filming almost 2 hours working on this.
Damn, you lasted 2 hours?
I know, right? Less than 2 hours. Thanks. Make it sound like all my freaking live streams go for freaking ever. I've only had one that's lasted like 2 hours, okay? I'm just glad this box has a quick change spring system. Because I would want to just die trying to do this with the spring in it. I'm hoping one of these days I'll be able to get this gearbox together. This is honestly the most trouble I've ever had getting a gearbox back together. Hey, I got it. Nice. Now, put some screws in it before I lose my freaking mind. We're almost to the testing phase. Alrighty. Okay, we're ready to throw the motor grip on. Put the wires up through it. We'll stick the motor in, put the motor plate on, and we'll see if and how it runs. And for some reason, it's always an if. You never know putting these things together. I've gotten pretty good at getting them to work. If this fails, I'm just going to throw the G&G 2500K in it for now, and And we'll try this another video. Or another time, anyway. May just get it working off camera and be like, hey, insert clip. Look, it works. That'd be cheap. Okay, you're snug. You're snug. Motor.
How's it going?
I hope it is. Seems like it's going. I'm just getting ready to put on the clips for the motor. I'm going to put on the adapter, hook it up to the battery, see if she works. If not, I may cry. Ooh. If I can get this thing on there. Good to run a test. Alright, that's on. Grab the motor plate. Maybe. Or maybe I'll just have some more problems with this. Go, don't lose those screws. Set them down. Yeah, I got a little bit of spring in there. There, that seems like it went down on there right now. Not the screwdriver though, this is. Not trying to make this a boring video. Sure, it seems it about now. So I'm having issues related to the cap going on for the motor height. See, I had to get the motor plate on. And I have to make sure it's on fully. I think I just got it to set in where it needs to be. Thought that earlier too. We'll see. Looks right. I think I just felt to take thread. Oh yeah, it's taking thread. That one down. And the front one didn't take thread. There it did. No, it didn't. Frustrating. It's not very often you see a live stream of someone actually teching on an AEG though. And this is why. Because it can be kind of humiliating because they can just plain out defeat you at times. I know the SHS high torque motor is supposed to be really good for DMRs, but I have never seemed to have any luck as far as getting them installed. Hey. It just set in. I know it did just then. Perfect, that one took. So did that one. Just gotta get them snugged up. That one's snug. That one's snug. Now the bad news is I have to take this apart one more time, but at least we get a quick test in. Stick the spring in. Our plunger. If it doesn't work, you guys may just see me cry on camera. Wouldn't that be great? For you guys. Alright, we will plug in my terminals so I can hook it up to my Titan. Alrighty. do have a little bit of wine, so I do want to back this out just a quarter turn. See how that does. Seems way quicker. Works. That's what matters. Alright, we'll unplug her. Put that stuff up there. We will pop back off the motor plate that took us forever to put together. Put it in the gearbox. And then I have a special little treat. I had my tracer BBs come in today. So, I actually have a viewer. I'll go ahead and do my hop-up, swap-over configuration, which won't take any time at all. I just got to swap my barrel over to the new hop-up. Load up some tracer BBs. And we'll go pew-pew a little bit, just out into the sky. You going to sleep?
No.
You want to come watch me shoot some tracer BBs in the air?
No.
Do you even have a clue what I'm talking about?
Yeah, you explained it last week.
Did I tell you that it's cool?
I'm eating sandwich.
Whose sandwich? Oh. Alrighty. Motor's not too warm, which is pretty good considering how hot of a run I just did. A lot of water. And there we go. It's all downhill from here. Just got a basic put together. As far as frame stuff go. Well, that's not good. That is most definitely not good. It would seem that I might be able to fish it out of there. The pinion on the motor came off. Yay! Now is the grub screw still there. Okay. Good. Good, good, good. Okay, we will put a bit of Loctite on that. Get the Allens out. If I remember right, you were a 1.3. Let's bring out. Indeed, you are a 1.3. God, these motors are magnetized. Thought I just lost it. Put just a drop on there. Drop. And there. Now, slip the pinion gear back on. Hopefully, to never be removed again. See if a 1.5 will fit it so I can get it real tight. No. Maybe it's standard. Maybe standard will fit it extra tight. Probably be around this size here. Perfect. That's exactly the size it is. But I also have to pull my pinion because I have to stick my shaft on. Pull that spring. Put the pinion back on. No, that's good. Screw this in. Real good and tight. There we go. Put that back up. These Allens back up. These tiny ones, if I don't put them up, I'll lose them. Perfect. Alrighty. And I think we're ready for body parts. Slip this through the back there. These wires need to go through this channel. There you go. Everything's set where it goes on. Okay. Now I got this little bit here that slides under for the adjustment. Of the selector switch. Technically, I don't need the other side because I pulled out the ambidextrous function on this unit, but I put it in there so that way dirt doesn't come into the gearbox. Just keep extra dirt out. Alright. That's installed. A little piece here. Sits on the back, right there. And a little wheel here. Goes on like so. Alright. And I have this piece here, which is the last piece. That's an actual pain in the ass to put in, which is an ambi mag release, which I do like to keep in. Because I don't always have both hands free to switch to pop out a mag, depending on how I'm posted up in a hide. Pop that piece out quick so this piece can slide in easier. There it is. Should be a little pin up here. Push it in just a little further. It's got no ring, kind of holds it in place. And the ambi release bit there. Awesome, awesome, awesome. I got body pins. Drive this way. Should have one more body pin. Oh, it's built in the mech box on this one, I forgot. If I can get it to go in. There we go. That's all the body pins. Got mag release. Screwdriver. And this always gives me hell. Don't think that's quite in right. face that way. Fulcrum that way. Okay. I actually don't need this 8mm anymore. I'll put it up. Because that was just to put the spring in. Alright, I think we are ready for motor rip. Again. Screwdriver. There we go. Motor tries to grab everything. Slide these wires up there. I can honestly say though, I've never had the pinion come off of the motor before, the pinion gear. So that was a first for me. Anyway. Snug. And snug. Alright, ready for the motor again. Let's see here. Got negative on. Positive on. Now work on negative. Needle nose pliers are your friend whenever you're hooking these up. Because your bullet connectors or your motor connectors should have enough pinch on them that they kind of squeeze onto the things pretty good. There she is. She just squeezed down on. A lot quicker this time. Grab the right pliers. There they started. There's one started. See, that one's not starting. So let out on this one to give that one a little bit of flex. There, that one started. It's funny because I'll get one started and then the other one won't start. See if these screws got popped around. It could be all of the trouble I'm having. These screws are backwards. It would appear that's what happened. Yep, that one started. That one's in. That one's good. Alright, and let's go ahead and before I forget it, because I about made out like a freaking idiot and didn't put all the screws in the gearbox, which could be catastrophic. So I'll use the right screwdriver. Forgot to put the ones in the top. Rookie mistake. Alright, I believe all we have left on the actual gearbox for assembly stuff is buffer tube, plate, but the main thing is the selector switch. Now it is in the full auto position, and I grab the other star bit. Put on there. Yeah. Feels smooth. It is smooth. Alright, the plate that helps guide the electronics. And this is the last actual fasten piece of the lower receiver. I do have to do a little bit of work on the upper. It won't take long at all. I'm literally just swapping a hop up. Which I do have to do a little bit of work to the hop up, not much. Take off some annoying side plates that won't fit in this. And grab my adapter. There we go. There's one. There's two. Kind of stuff this into the buffer tube like so. We'll give it another run quick. Make sure everything is working right. I'd say it's working right. Battery's not super warm. Motor grip's still cool. I didn't hear any whining really. Let me do another quick little test. I'm just the whine of the motor turning, which is really nothing. I'd say shimming and everything, spot on. We'll stick on the stock. Then we get to work on the hop up once I put some tools away so I don't lose them. Alrighty, and back the stock. And there it is, complete lower, done. Alrighty. I am so freaking happy that is finished with. Let's take these shims. I got some spare shims laying out here. those in the side pocket, so I know where those are. And I will need you for the hop up. Okay, now for my gigantic ass upper receiver, to which I only need the barrel out of. Alrighty, so I'll pop this locking bit quick. We'll pull this little screw out the side. Hop up. Perfect. Pop the hop arm out. Pop the hop nub out. Pull the hop up off. Get what I believe is the new hop up. I think this is the new one. Yes, this is the right one. Okay. We will pull maybe I will get that and get these screwdrivers over here. Through here, tiny screwdrivers. And a tiny flat, but that's slightly bigger than the one I got. Perfect. That's the one I want. Okay. Pop that out. Perfect. That piece will be going back into this hop up. We want that spring assembly. Might actually be, yeah, this is actually the R-hop block. It's already installed in it, which is actually what I want to use. I will pull that out quick, put my barrel on, put the clip on, nice, okay, put the R-hop block back in place. I'll take this arm here, put the spring back in it. Okay, slide this in. do a damn good job at making their hop-up chambers. Such a damn good job that I struggle to put them back together. That would help if I actually turned the hop off instead of having the hop on max. Maybe just a little. Yep, there it went. Screw this down tight. We'll see if it'll go in there with the side plate windows. The old one didn't for me, but they've changed quite a bit in the newer models. I imagine I'll have to take the side plates off. Fits fine into there. Shouldn't have to take side plates off. I don't know what I had to take them off for in the first place. Unless it was just to clear this receiver. Nope. Well, I'm fine. Need my little convincing stick. Yeah, should be all together now. Alrighty. This is her. Let me put up a few things. We'll get my tracer unit. See if she wants to feed. What'd you say?
Talking to the snake.
I was just talking shit just because, but you actually sound upset.
I was talking to the baby.
Okay. I was just trying to give you shit. God, you're as bad as John Wayne. Just don't take shit off no one, do you?
Right, bitch.
Well, bitches do as bitches told. See if I ever do anything for you again. Yeah, I'll end up paying rent at least. Get the fuck out of my house. Okay, I need my electrical tape, which is set over here, because I gotta remount my touchpad. Need one DMR mag, which would be in my bag of stuff. Actually, real quick, I'm going to connect that battery up. Just do a few test shots with the upper on. Not that it has any bearing on whether it functions or not, but I remember doing a AEG build one time for a guy, and when I put the buffer tube on, it wouldn't work. Sounds great to me. Alrighty, I'll disconnect the battery quick. Alright, and I'll tape on my pressure switch. Got some around the trigger guard for a wrap. Just go around the pistol grip a few times. Should be secure. Alright. Do a quick check. Make sure my IR is not on. No, that's momentary. Alright, now I just need to put up some tools. Which I only have a few out left anyway. I cannot believe you are still in the chat. That's viewer commitment to sit there. That, whatever that was, it was a freaking almost 3-hour video. That's what that is. It's like sitting through 3 hours of one of my videos is more of a commitment than marriage. I need to put up my silicone quick. Good. Alright. Find me a mag. this in there. Alright, it's in. Do a few test shots. Maybe be that idiot on camera because I haven't replugged my battery in. Perfect. Oh, it should be off. Got around there. So let's see. Does it have mid-cap syndrome? Air's coming out. I'm not sure my nozzle is returning. There. Alright. There, it's working every time. Okay, so should be enough rounds. Alright. Just had to get the hop set a little bit. Get some tracer BBs. Fresh bottle of HPAs. Smell like chemicals. There we go. It's full mag. One at the top. Let's pull off the tracer unit, or pull off the suppressor. Remount my light. Perfect. Light secure, light works. And it's on bright mode. Alright, let's grab tracer unit. doesn't screw on. Alrighty. Put our mag in. Should be set to go. Little pole light. Alright, we're going to kind of dark out here because I mean it's the middle of the night. Suppressor, or I think the church unit's off. I think it's on now. There we go. So now I can set my hop-up unit. A little bit less. Perfect. Alright, and as you guys can see, oh, that's cool. Alright, and well, that's pretty much it. Thanks for sticking around, those of you that did. And guess I'm gonna cut the stream off here. So, subscribe to Mental Ed.